iCare version 8.6 will have a sandpit for staff to practice, and I'll take you in there now to show you. Just so that you're aware, the iCare sandpit will be available for staff soon from the business leads. So it's important for managers to speak to the business leads to find out when that will be available and what the access codes are for that sandpit. Okay, so now we'll have a look at the training sandpit. We'll enter there, enter your username and password. So as I said, on the home screen, the only differences really are around the ACFI alerts. So there's now a box where you can go in and have a look at the ACFI alerts, and the date and the time has been added to the message of the day. When we go into the resident tab, click on the resident. So now we can see in the resident header, we can see the date that the details were last updated for this resident. If I hover over the blue person icon, I can see the name of the person that updated their details. If I click on the downward arrow, it opens up additional information. So I can see, you know, it might be their Medicare number, if that's been entered, their dietary requirements. So the toggle arrow up or down. I can also see that this resident has an advanced care directive, and if I click on the blue folder, it tells me the location of that advanced care directive. If I hover over the resident's picture, I can see the date that that photo was uploaded into iCare. I've got a resident tab, clinical tab, and contacts tab up the top. The more will give me access to print out the resident details. If I go into the resident tab, you can now see it looks quite different. It's quite streamlined. We have the information tree on the left-hand side, and if I click on any of those headings, it takes me straight to that information. So a little bit quicker to navigate through the information. For their preferences, this is where the advanced care directive information is located. We talked about that earlier. We go into the clinical information. Allergies are recorded. As said, you can edit this information at any time. The clinical information, their COVID status would be entered. The dietary information, which is automatically uploaded from the C12 when that's completed. And if I hover over the folder, it tells me that I updated that information, the date and the assessment tool that that information came from. The baseline health ranges and the alerts down there. And our contact details. As I explained earlier, if there's a note written next to the contact, the icon will appear to alert staff to the fact that there's some additional information written in there against the contact, whether that's a primary contact, secondary, person responsible. So it just alerts that staff should be looking at that. If I go into the person responsible, if we edit, we can see under relationship type all of the possibilities that we can select from. You can select more than two. As you can see here, I've selected son and enduring power of guardianship. Once again, you can navigate by clicking the title on that information tree at the left-hand side. So fairly easy to navigate the information there. Back to resident profile. You just click on that link. We want to go into the documentation tab. You can enter the care plans from the resident tab or the documentation tab. So my care plan, view or create a care plan. If you want to evaluate a care plan, then you must go into the evaluate tab, not the extended tab. The resident header will appear on every page. So the same information is sitting there. I can still expand that information if I need to. When you go into the care plans, as I said, the domains will all be closed, so you can open these one at a time if you choose, or you can expand them all so they're all open. If you're going to print the care plan off, you must expand all the domains before you print it out. All this information contained within the care plan has come from an assessment tool, and we know that because there's a red folder at the side. And when I hover over that red folder, it tells me who completed that assessment tool and what the assessment tool is. And there's a link there to the assessment tool. So this is where you should come in to access those assessments if they need to be updated. So the information under this domain, which is the pain domain, this was entered from an assessment tool, but this information has a little blue person icon on it. So we know that this information didn't come from an assessment tool. Somebody added this information by clicking add new and entered that information. When I hover over that, it tells me who updated that information and the date. If I want to link the support to the goal, then I drag the support over the goal and let it go, and the link appears. If I want to unlink it, I just tap on it and the link will disappear. You can link more than one thing, more than one support to a goal. If I want to change the order, then I click and hold it and drag it up to where I want it to sit. If I want to move, it doesn't matter. It just needs to stay. You can only move them vertically, not horizontally. It won't let you move it into a different section. If the information, if the information needs to be updated, then we need to come into the care plan, go to the information that we want to change, click on the red folder and click on the link to the assessment tool. That will then open up the assessment tool, scroll to the bottom of the assessment tool and hit edit. And now the assessment tool will open up. So I can complete it, so I can make my changes. The arrow on the upper left-hand corner, if I click on that arrow, the assessment tool will be minimized. If I click it again, it will open up again. If I want to expand the assessment tool, click on the three little lines at the side, click and hold and drag it out so that it's a bit bigger so we can see. In the assessment tool itself, the blue folder at the end will tell us where that information will map to the care plan. The little blue icon will inform us as to who last updated the information in this assessment tool. If we're selecting our options, there's only one option here. For this one, my cursor will sit in the box. So when I click on the box, I can make another selection. The cursor's still there, so I can make another selection. Okay, or I can delete them. When I'm happy with all the changes in that assessment, I then enter my password and hit complete. The information, the new information that was added to that assessment tool will not go straight through to the care plan. It won't feed through to the care plan until a new care plan is created. All of the information in your existing care plans will be retained when we move to version 8.6. So you won't lose the information, you won't lose your care plan when we switch over to version 8.6. Okay, so there are our care plans and the resident documents. So it, once again, is quite streamlined. So you can see at a glance which residents have documents that are stored, what type of documents they are, whether they're in hard copy. So we can see this document is a hard copy because there's no attachment icon next to it. This document is in soft copy because the attachment icon is next to the name of the document. So quite visual. We can see the ACFI evidence that it's related to. We can see the date that they were entered. We can see the tags associated, and we can edit the information in those documents at any time. We can filter. If I wanted to find all of the documents that a particular resident has, then I can enter their name in the box, and then only their documents will appear. If I wanted to see how many residents in a facility had an advanced care directive, then I could add that here, advanced care directive in my tag, and it will let me know all of the residents that have an advanced care directive. We can filter by the date that it was created. We can filter by status. So whether they're active, with the residents active, deceased, discharged. And we can upload a new document. So we can edit the documents at any time if we hit edit. So I can't change the resident's name, but I can change the caption, or I could change the tag if I so desired. We could add additional ACFI links to it. We can change it from hard or soft copy. It's currently in soft copy, so I can't change it to hard copy because we've got a soft copy. If that was a hard copy, I could upload a soft copy of it. As I said, the system itself is really easy to navigate. I don't think the staff will have a lot of issues going through iCare. Yeah. So that's really all. As said, just need to contact your manager, or if you are a manager, to your business partners, so that they can let you know what the rollout timeframe is for the sandpit for your staff and what the access and passwords are.